So anyway, this is for, let's see what this is for. This is for Visual Basic and for Introduction to Visual Basic by Anthony Gaddis and Kip Irvine. And this is for, what is it called? I think it's Programming Challenge. Here it is. Name formatting in strings. Let's see what it says. So this is Programming Challenge 410, name programming in strings. So what we did here, and I'm just going to go over the code that I wrote for it. So go to the form. So this your enter, because that's for your user to enter their last name followed by a comma. That's your text box here, which is this, and I called it txt last name, text box last name. I think this is label first. This is label last name, or text box last name. Yeah, text box first name is the second one. This is a label. This is the result label. I think you can call it label result. Yeah, label result here. And the first one I always program, I always do the exit first. So we got the exit. This is your exit code right here. So all you have to do is type in this line of code here. And then I programmed to clear the two boxes. So that would be this, clear the text boxes, clear the first name. So this is the thing, the book talks, you can do emptying strings a bunch of different ways. You can do string.empty, you can do text box name.clear, and you can also do you can do the text box and then dot text equals, and then you can put two quotation marks and then two more quotation marks, and that's an empty string too. So any one of those three ways is okay. I don't necessarily think there's a right way or a wrong way to do that. It still works. How the computer works, it takes each one of those things and handles it differently inside the computer, but it still does the same thing. So anyway, after you clear the text box, I wanted the cursor to go back to the last name text box. So that's where you put the focus here. So then we did the display name button here. And this was kind of tricky in a weird sort of way, because what he asked is if the user forgets to insert the comma into the input name, display an error message for that, right? So I was thinking about that, and I wrote a bunch of different code to start doing it, and then I simplified it. I was like, oh, okay. So what I did was, here's where you declare your variables. Last name, this is the last name text box. This is the first name text box. And then this is where I put the results. And at first I was putting the results up here from just grabbing these two into the text box. And then this is the key for removing the comma right here. This little bit of code, which is in you put inside the trim function, or the trim method, I should say. And then that piece of code takes away this comma right here. That it takes the comma out. So I just had the result as a string, and then I took this part of the code out, and then I said use the trim to remove the comma from the end of the last name. I didn't need these two lines of code. And then later on, to search for the comma specifically, I added more code in. So to do a search function for the string, I needed an integer, so I put it as the location of the string. And then I made a new string called my string, and then I had search. And I took this from a search and replace thing that I was using. So I just changed it around, is all I really did. So anyway, I did my string was my last name, and the whole text of the search of the last name goes into my string. And then in the search field for the string, I wanted to search for the comma independently. So it would search the, like if you had a name with multiple commas in it, it would find every instance of that comma. So anyway, so you're supposed to put it with a comma at the end of the last name. So we did that, and then replace, and this is where I use the double quotation marks. So you got the quotation marks followed by another quotation marks, and that just makes an empty spot. So then the location would be this integer right here. So this, and this is the location in the string. So in this string, or in this string, or in this string. So the replace string is replacing this search string for what it's searching for. So you're searching for this and replacing it with this. So anyway, that was that. So then the location would be -1. So that would be, so when it starts counting, in most computer programming languages, it starts counting at 0. And I'm pretty sure Visual Basic starts counting at 0, although Basic started counting at 1. So -0 would be before the first letter. So that would make it pop up a message box and enter a followed name followed by the. So if it doesn't find a comma, right, if the user didn't insert the comma, then it would return a -1. So that's what I put here. Location would be -1 if the string is not found. So the string would be a comma, and if it's not found, it would return a -1. And then I put the focus back onto the last name text box here. And then this is where I actually do the code that you see when the program runs. So this is where you take your last name, you get the whole entire string of the last name, and then you remove, So this is where you got your location. So you remove, and then you search the length of the entire name, and then you insert the location, which, remember, it's searching for this here. And then you replace it here, replace it with nothing. So, and then you display the result in the LBL text box here. This is where you put your result of your first name and your last name. It's here. And then your result here goes into your text box. And then it puts the focus back on the last name. So let's go ahead, save it, and run it. Display, clear, and then if you do it without the comma, you should get it. There you go. Please enter a valid name followed by a comma. Okay, cool. It works fine. So anyway, that's Visual Basic Programming Chapter 4, Programming Challenge 10 for Shasta College Introduction to Visual Basic class. All right, thanks. Bye.